you. We're having a great time up here today. In this segment, we're going to discuss, you know, Trudy Davis, I remember as a small child, as my kids were small children. Now get in the car, we're going to the health department, and you're going to get your little shot. You're going to get immunized.
You told them before you went? Boy, mine would have been screaming.
I always tell my sister in the back seat, you know, they would make her think we're going somewhere else. I said, you're going to get a shot.
Oh, that's hilarious.
You know, but you didn't think about it, but I remember going, I guess my mom and them read over the papers they signed.
Yeah.
And I remember taking my kids in there and glancing over the papers, thinking, well, you know what? This stuff looks horrible. These side effects look horrible, but this disease is horrible too.
Right.
So it's like the lesser of two evils.
Exactly. Exactly.
But there are side effects.
There are. Well, you know, it's funny. If you Google, do immunizations cause autism, you will find pages and pages refuting that it does. You cannot find, I found one hidden article that said that, yes, the Department of Health and Human Resources did say that certain vaccines could cause encephalitis, which is comparable, you know, which is one of the causes of autism. But I can tell you, I saw it firsthand as a nurse in the ER.
It's happened in our family.
Yes.
We saw it firsthand.
A perfectly normal little girl, got her 2-year immunizations, immediately had a seizure disorder.
Went into fever,
and has never been normal. She became autistic. She could not even, you know, function. But
the day that they admit it, look at the lawsuits that's going to open up.
Well, yes, and that's what this article did mention, that it's been really hidden. But, you know, when you think of society as a whole, you have to think what's good for the most people. In 1949, polio was an epidemic.
I think it's even more than that. I think now, I read where they're giving such high doses that when we were little, you know, it wouldn't be a high dose like it is now. So they're getting like 30 shots in one dose.
Yeah, I did see that.
And they're also using human DNA that they started using, I think, in 2005 or 2008. And then autism really spiked.
But they deny that there's any correlation.
I think we need to make sure, you know, if a takeaway for our audience would be, as parents, we have to be proactive in making sure that we have researched to find out all of the pros and cons of that particular immunization. I had the unfortunate incident of earlier this year having to funeralize one of the babies at my church that I actually had actually died from a result of the immunizations, and the coroner actually put that on the death certificate. That the problem was he got the immunization too early, and he said the doctor should have known because of his age he was not ready for the immunization, and the baby passed. You know, so parents have to be educated as well. You know, doctors are, you know, we're here, you know, to practice and do different things, but parents have to take a certain.
Well, and I think that's you hit the nail on the head. You know, we can't give up parenting.
No.
You know, you know, you don't leave off every decision to the doctor because they're a doctor. And we have to remember that sometimes what we're dealing with here is not just whether we're trying to get a baby well, but we're dealing with a business that is at hand. And so, if in order to keep it running, I have to also use maybe some fear tactics to get you to come in. And so we're dealing with humans, we're dealing with business, we're dealing with all kind of things. And so we can't give up, you know, parenting. We have to make those decisions for ourselves.
Does this go for like flu shots?
Yes, it does.
Oh, yes, definitely. People have become paralyzed from flu shots.
Yes, and they say that this year's flu shot did not cover the strain of flu that's out right now.
Flu shots, it's a roll of the dice whether that's going to be the strand of flu that's out that year.
But if you look at the CDC and the World Health Organization, just like you've said, they deny that there's anything.
And they have to, or they're going to have lawsuits piled up on lawsuits.
And they even say that the 1998 study that was done linking autism to the immunizations was not good, that it was
faulty information.
Yeah, they're saying some of the flu shots now can lead to Alzheimer's.
I mean, you know,
is it I think it's the metal.
It's the
that metal
mercury.
component, the mercury that goes to the brain.
And I did read where they really are trying to eliminate that as it's a decontaminant, so that you can use the same vial, you know, multiple times.
Is it that thimerosal?
I just read mercury, and
it's
you know how dangerous
it seems like we don't learn from the past mistakes. You know, what happens is that every single year in our lives we'll see whatever it is that's prescribed, and then 10 years later, 20 years later, they're always talking about, oh yeah, well it was this and it was that, but we haven't learned to actually, you know, go with the instincts and go and not explain away the results that we're seeing.
Yeah. You know, Jeremiah said that we are cursed when we put our the book of Jeremiah in the Bible says that we are cursed when we put our trust in man and make flesh his strength. And that's why we as parents do have to stay engaged, and we got to pray. We got to pray and ask God,
Well,
is this a
people
guide?
will think you're crazy, but how about let's just claiming Psalm 91 insurance, okay?
Yeah.
Let's just go on that insurance policy where it plainly says, you know, look right here what I'm telling you. This is a promise. No plague will come near your dwelling.
That's right.
And I pray
That's
that over
pretty
my
good.
son
That's
when he goes to get his shots, because this happened to my neighbor. Her son had autism after
We
his
look
shots.
at this. We all know people this has happened to.
But yet you cannot find it on a Google search
Right.
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yes.
Well, that's where the money is controlling the information that you get, and so
Yes.
I am not going to put out information that looks back at me and tells me that I'm the one that needs to do the right thing. And so, and I think as Christians, we're always going to have to realize that we're going to be, we're going to look like we're crazy, but
Right.
that's what following the word looks like.
Well, when my son was born, and this happened to my neighbor, I did research on a physician that was who would stretch out the
I was
shots.
going to tell you, that's one thing you
And-
can do at home.
Right, and that's what
Get
I did.
those doses spread out.
So
not
they
at one
spread them out.
time.
And then I prayed over him when I went to the doctor, and they just looked at me like I was a little bit
Oh, I
crazy,
think
but I'm
that's
like, you know what? I'm
huge,
praying over my son because
That's right.
nothing's
Yes.
going to happen to him.
That's right.
But I did my research, and I went in faith, and
And there are some risk factors that you can
Right.
know that if your family has a history of autoimmune disease, you want to really spread them out. Allergies in the children or in the family, and a premature baby needs to grow longer or develop longer before getting
Trudy,
immunizations.
it's law. You've got to have your
I was gonna
child.
say,
So
I
what are
mean,
you going
right.
to do?
Well,
You gotta-
can't, not necessarily, because when working in the
Religion.
school system and working where I work now, kids that are from their religion, they do not
Yes.
have to be immunized. We have nurses and doctors that are from other countries working here, and they don't have immunizations because they can use their religious faith, does not believe in it.
Chiropractors don't immunize their children.
Yes.
And that's also part of that information gathering that we're talking about, because people are telling you, no, it's a law, and when you dig into it, you find out, no, that's not really true at all.
Right.
Yeah.
But then there's the other side of it too. I've got 3 boys. They've all been through immunizations.
Yes.
As I said, my dad was a pediatrician for 40 years.
Yeah.
I don't know of any incident that there may have been some, but I don't know that
You know
there
why?
are.
Because I
So-
think it's more today.
Yeah.
I think it's
Could be.
more now where they're loading these shots up and not spreading them out, and
Yeah.
they're putting it all in one vaccine through at one time. So
Yeah.
stay with us. We'll be right back. I think that's what it is. They get it all.